Greetings, everyone. Dustin from Dustin's Dynasty here with you on this fine Super Bowl Sunday for us to celebrate in the States. I don't have TV like that, so I don't watch the Super Bowl, but I've been intending to do a video for Facebook and for YouTube. I initially thought of it as being a live, but I'm not ready to do that yet. I'm not ready to be on the cusp and on the camera. So what I have done this year, and I guess a little backstory to it is last year it's going to be Random Acts of Kindness week coming up. And part of that, last year I printed my mother a calendar for 2023 from the Random Acts of Kindness Foundation. This year I printed each of us a calendar and I hung it up just here in my apartment so I could read something kind to do every day. On January 1st of this year, 2024, there was the thought for the day, or the kindness act for today, for that day, for New Year's Day, was to create create a jar or a box. And in this case, I took something that my Christmas gift came in, and it's called a gratitude box. And I put 31 days of gratitude in this box for 31 days. Now you're saying, I know it's the 11th, but I've been busy and I haven't really got around to opening it. And I did open it this morning because I numbered every day that I wrote it down because I wanted to share with you the things that I'm grateful for. Now, some of these things that I'm grateful for, you might not think, well, I'm too self-centered or whatever, but they're things that make you go, and they make you think. And they make me part of what I think I'm grateful for. Because I am grateful for many things, but ultimately, it's the small things you find every day when you're out and about and going all around. But every day there was something that I thought throughout the day, I thought I was grateful for. And I put it in this little cardboard gratitude box every day for 31 days. So for the ease of going through the video, and I took everything out this morning and I before church and I put it on, I laid it out in order of date. So we're gonna pull each one and we're gonna read it. So this will probably be a long video, but I felt like I wanted to do a live so much, but I'm not ready mentally yet for that. So, and I know it's hard for autistic people to do that. So, but for me, I thought a video, I would record a video and just do it that way. So we're going to start with the 31 things I'm grateful for in 2024 in the first month. So number one, day one, New Year's Day, my Facebook page followers. I have 1,000 Facebook page followers, and for self-advocacy. To say a little bit about that is the fact that indeed I did have 1,000 followers on New Year's Day, New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, right around that evening, and then the next day I was very thankful for that. As such, I'm near 1.06K, which is nearly 1,060 as of this morning. And I'm more active with my social media, particularly my Facebook and my Instagram, and I still do the other stuff, but I'm truly thankful for that because it gives me something to do, but it gives me a chance to share my very complex story with all of you, and I'm thankful for that. And I'm very grateful for it, the ability to do that, which leads into day number two, my blog. I write blogs every day. I have to write one every day. It's what keeps me going. It's the common denominator of telling something about my story or telling something that I'm thinking in my head. And to get it, and I think for both people who are on a spectrum, such as myself, or family members, or a coworker or a friend who wants to know what's really going on up there and how things affect me as an autistic person. I share that because I think it's important. And I also share it because I think it's part of, doing the service that I need to do. And not to get too preachy on it, but that was part of the sermon in church today about, sharing, your love and your passion and sharing your part of your tapestry. And autism is my tapestry, as along with my many other talents and my other complex challenges. So I do that by sharing that with you all, whether it's a week blogs every day. I try to write every day. And if you looked last week, yesterday, I wrote three posts the night before because quite frankly, I was just up, that was on my mind. There's three things were on my mind, and we were near the close of a newsletter, and I said, let's do it because um I needed to get it out, and I thought it was very useful information. And as you know, and I felt that even if I had to add an extra part on the newsletter to get the weekly e-blast to get that third article in there, it was worth it. So I do enjoy writing. I do enjoy writing is like my passion, and I do enjoy it. And I'm very grateful that I have the gift of the words and the education and the great teachers that have guided me in that effort, whether it was at the high school here in town, whether that was, at the other high school in where I went when I was in residential, whether that was, at the Hiram G. Anderson or even in Johnstown, or was that here in community college, whether that was here in my county or in the next county over at the main campus, or even online. It was just the gift of words is just everything. Day 3. This is a big one. Day 3. All of my achievements, sometimes it's I fell down on myself, and I have a lot of self-pity and a lot of self-hurt about myself. Feel horrible about myself some days, but then I think of all the things I accomplished, including getting this apartment, keeping this apartment, and living here as long as I've been. I've been independent for 5 years, and yeah, I had my struggle, and everybody has struggles. That was another thing that was mentioned in church this morning, was that everybody has their struggles. But you know what? I have so many achievements, and I have so much to be thankful for and grateful for, that I have done unbelievable things. And I'm going to be 39 in June. And the fact that I've done unbelievable things, it just says enough. Day 4, friends and acquaintances. These may be people online. These may be people that I met through groups or through networking online, um, you know, or even just people at my Monday evening weight loss club, or my church, or just people I've known all my life in this small town that I live in, or through the field, through working, or just people who've run into me and listened to my story. I'm grateful for all of you because you keep me going, and you keep the juices going, the livelihood, and the inertia to keep writing and keep telling my story. But it keeps also the inertia and the stamina to keep living. And that's something I really I don't ever take for granted, because we don't know how, I've lost some friends recently. I've lost some advocates in the last few months, the last year, and it's been hard. And you don't know what you got to what's gone. So always be grateful, always take time for family too, because I am grateful for them as well. Number 5, day 5, willingness to be healthy. As you see, I am an overweight person if you're on the camera, and I've been overweight for a very long time. I've been going to weight loss support group for about 17, 18 years. And my willingness to never give up on the journey, over the 17, 18 years, probably 20 years, to be honest. I've been on medication, and it causes weight gain for 25 years. And part of that, and I never stop giving up, fighting that fight, because I know I can't. And I know I have to at least give it a try every day. And it's not easy, but I'm getting better at it. And, I'm realizing to take things slow and in small doses. It's very important to do that, and not go all rogue on stuff, and just be there and be part of it. Day 6. Day 6. Oh, that's what's like going. My independence. My independence. I am so grateful for my independence. It was by luck the first to get the first apartment, and things happen. They happened the way they did. Don't really get into a lot of that. That's for a close circle. But what happened, and I had to leave, and I had to leave. I left on my own will. Wasn't forced, but I had to leave on my own will. And it was in the midst of COVID, midst of me not caring for myself on the bout. and I got back in work. I did better, and I pounded the pavement. That 2020 was a rough year for everybody, and I honestly, I know I can vouch for that. But I pounded the pavement when people wouldn't help me. Systems were down. People who were intended to support me and still on the list to support me did not help me. I put numerous phone calls in, and so I pounded the pavement and applied for housing on my own for everywhere that I believed that I could go or want to go. So in 20 November of 2020, I got in October, late October, through a chance of a blind phone call for a blind ad for a similar a property owned by the same entity that owns where I live, that is manages and owns where I live. I was not eligible for that property, but the next day that same person called for here, and they're no longer here. But I'm grateful for them and their willingness to accept me because it's not always easy to get here and take a chance and take a gamble. And it's amazing that this is the longest I've lived at either place. I've outstayed, the first length of the first stay at the other place. And, it's been 3 years and it's been amazing. And I'm grateful for it. It works for me. It's not big. It's not what you think is great, but it works for me and it's much better than the alternatives. So I'm greatly thankful for my independence and that I can go and navigate. As you know, transportation changed in the last few months, and I'm grateful for that as well. But I think I'm grateful for that two more times on it. You'll hear me talk about it. But just grateful that I can navigate the world and know when know the boundaries of when I'm being taken advantage of and or there's cause to be taken advantage of, or the things that many autistic people struggle with when they're independent, and many of the fears um that family members have, and that I think through tact and work, and even being in Johnstown when there was dorm counselors who were the brass knuckles who taught us things, how to navigate and what to say and how to do and how to script what to say. Um, I think, it instilled a lot of that tough stuff because we had at Johnstown, when I was there at the Hiram Junior Center, we had students from Philly, we had students from Pittsburgh. So it was a great Pennsylvania melting pot of people, of individuals, mostly male and mostly young around my age at the time. And so you had to learn how to survive and you had to learn how to not give in to naivety and not how to be taken advantage of. And I did that quite well. Yes, I sheltered myself up even to those close, and I made do with that later on in life. And it was a really good thing when it happened. But I know I should have been more social, but I was 20 years old. I'm over that. So the next one, we're on day 7. Mobile and portable technology. So my sister bought me a tablet for Christmas, a nice tablet, not something that was chintzy or cheap. Um, and it's where I really love it. I love to sit on the couch or sit in bed with it. I don't sit in bed at night with it. That's something I've been doing more. It's not having technology in bed. But I mean, in the mornings, I like to sit down and after I read my prayer book, I like to uh, do my social media, do my daily post with it with my tablet, and do all the fancy work that I got to do to get it out there to y'all. And it's the best thing I've ever had. Cell phone is always a good thing for anybody, and those resources, whether they're through the government or they're through or my own, I value that very much because I can be able to navigate the world that is not always set up or it's easy to conquer for me. So, having my music and, being able to put my headphones and drown myself in my own world for a little bit when I have to navigate between point A and point B and sometimes point C is a wonderful thing. Um, Facebook and the groups and the Facebook groups. So I'm on some Facebook groups. And I also admin a few. I admin one, I think, or a few. but I share information about our community, our resources in our community and in our county. I also admin our weight loss support group, private Facebook group, and I also participate in various autism groups. Now, some say that might be toxic or whatever, but for me, it's an outlet that, that I never had before. And also for connecting with others on the spectrum or others with similar interests that are on the spectrum. You wouldn't think it, but many of us are in the same boat. And, connecting with those people with similar interests and similar needs and similar issues. And we're all under that spectrum. And, I think just connecting and getting through that and understanding, hey, we're like each other and we're different, but we're similar, but we're different. And we're amazing people. And they help me see that I'm amazing too, just like they are. Day 9, my TOPS family, which is TOPS is my weight loss support group. And it's my Monday night thing, y'all, as somebody would always say. And I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for the connections I made. I've have an accountability. I'm accountable to the leader almost every day. Um, I'm accountable. I do the Facebook group, like I just said, for the previous day's gratitude. And I'm grateful that I can connect to them. I send them cards in the mail. I care about them just as much, and they've accepted me just as much as part of of our little chapter family. So if I encourage you to check that out, tops.org, and a little plug in it for you. And if you need to find a weight loss support group that's more down to earth home, you can do your own thing. um you know and try to have some sort of real connection to people who are going through the battle, and also have role models that are in the same thing as you. Day 10, electricity. I think this was a day that the electric was not 100% well. I think the fire was flickering, or it was a storm, I think, and the power was flickering. And electricity's been around for a mighty long time. Last year I was without power for 14 hours one evening in March during a March storm. Um, our building here had been underpowered, and we lost power for 2 days. And it had to be shut off again in December for it to be restored. So, I've learned to be grateful for electricity, because it just is. And you need electricity to do many things, and it's not like the old days anymore, but you need to be grateful for it. I think it's day 11, community. Community can mean many things, but it's just being able to go out in the community and navigate the world that is not always made for people like myself who are on the spectrum. It is part of understanding and accepting who we are, but it's being able to do that and feel welcomed and accepted. And this town here I live is second to none. And it's just, I feel like I can navigate it. It's my small little piece of the world. We have a population of 8K, so 8,000 people. So, navigating it and knowing that I can be safe, and there's good people out there that will take care of me. And it's always good to know when there's somebody on every corner who will keep an eye for you. This is number 12. My ability to something in exact energy. Sometimes it's hard when you have to learn how to balance exact energy. It's hard because energy is a thing. People are toxic. People have caused me over the last few years to have boundaries. People know when I'm not at my best, and my ability to go and navigate the world with all the challenges of people being toxic, or having inability, and having the culture that we enter no matter where we go, and yet I'm able to do my own thing and be in my own world and be the person that I want to be and nothing else, and not give in to other people's things or their desires. That's a big step, and it wasn't easy. I probably have done it for the past 2 years and 2.25 years maybe, and that was a big step for me to do that. It wasn't always easy, um, but sometimes you have to know when to let things go and build boundaries. And boundaries was the best thing I ever did for myself. Day 13, laundry equipment. So I love that I live here where I live and that I have a hookup for a washer and dryer. I didn't have that in the first apartment, and there was very many things that was a bother with that. But just being able to do your laundry when you want to and without issues, and just not having to pay for laundry every single use. Something I'm grateful for. And now that I've been better and feeling better mentally, and now I am on a real consistent routine, and building that routine and making sure the laundry's done every so often, and mostly weekends, but making sure that the laundry's done. And that's a good thing because I've never had such clean clothes ever, I don't think. Day 14, being resourceful. So as I said, I'm a very resourceful person. I share a lot of resources, whether that's on my website. I encourage you to check it out, dustinsdynastyusa.com, or through for my community, or for my county, or for the mental health system in the county or the state. I'm a very resourceful person. I like lists, I like knowledge, and nothing says it better than having a list and having resources. Day 15, my home. Went into a little bit about that earlier, but I had a hard time. I had resentment when I first moved here 3 years ago. A lot of resentment about it was in a different location of town, and it wasn't a bad location. It was just further from everything, and it was really struggle for a long time. The bridge down the street was replaced 2 years ago, 2 years this summer. And even though pedestrians were accommodated, even had a pedestrian bridge put in place for us to walk across, it was a big deal, and there was a lot of stress and a lot of anxiety, and not being able to navigate in the world. That was a big thing for me, and just accepting that I was here. And the one thing that really changed that was making a pros and cons list of where I used to live and where I currently reside. And honestly, that was the best thing that I did, and it helped me see. Now, how I did that was I put each location in a column, and the good things I put with a green pen or marker, and the bad things the things that were cons, I put in red marker for each place. And the place I live now currently had had all but three reds, and the similar situation with the place I used to live had only three green things were pros. So it definitely is the place to be, and truly thankful for it. Took a long time for me to accept it and be what it was, but it is what it is, and I love it here. Day 16, my job. My job is, I'm truly grateful for my job. Although, if you asked me that probably a year ago, even 2 months ago, like 8 months ago, 10 months ago, 2 years ago, I would have hated it. And I would have told you I wanted to quit. Because, it was a very challenging situation getting to and from the job, and then being involved in day services. And it's not that I didn't like day. I'm not unhappy about day services. It was just the situation that it was a very toxic situation for a very long time. And now that's been abolished for about 2 months. It's a whole different thing. And I know I still have to go to day services, but and even this past week I switched from being at, having going to day services, then work. but now I go straight to work on my work days. So it is better, but work and I like work now because I get more hours. I got 2 more hours this week in addition on post what I was when I was missing when we were doing the transportation from when I switched it to now. And it's just I know that paycheck's going to be nice on Friday, and I'm going to really enjoy it. But I do enjoy my work. It's a very nice environment. I thought I'd have a challenge when we moved. We moved recently, probably about last September. And as you know, I may have mentioned it, may have not have. But it was when I also was had a major manic episode in relapse, and took some time. I took some time off to manage myself and get myself back on track. And even moving into the new office, which is it has some challenges, but I do quite well, and it's way better than what I'm way better at work than what I used to be. I know the importance of taking my medicine in order to go to work, and I know I needed to go to work. So that's what kept me going and keeps me on track. Day 17. Day 17. Heat. I did not have heat this day, I don't think. There was something. No, I have radiator heat, and it's not it's good. It's sometimes it's not perfect, and it was a Sunday. This was a Sunday, I believe. And it was at the it was and they fixed it the next morning, but it was at the radiator at the boiler end of the building. So it was out of my control, but I did report it, and I guess several other people reported it because they checked it first. So but I'm truly grateful for heat, because you don't realize, there are many homeless people out there, and there was just something I saw online yesterday or somewhere about autistic people being homeless. There's a lot of them that are, and how grateful you have to be for heat, and how heat costs money, and that's part of my rent. So I'm truly grateful for that, because you know, I I I I need that, having heat is something, especially if you're living in Pennsylvania, in southwestern Pennsylvania like I am, you're truly grateful for heat. Day 18, day 18, Amazon Music and Spotify. I use Amazon Music daily, constantly daily. I pay for the subscription, for the individual subscription. I'm not full blown money, but it's just me. So I just buy the individual with Prime. So it's not, you know, I mean, I just budget it because I have to have it. And, it helps calm me down. I can listen to anything. I created a new metal playlist about a few weeks ago. I downloaded it on my devices so that if I was out somewhere and I needed to have that sensory break and listen to that music, I could play that and enjoy it. But it's a lifesaver. Spotify, likewise. I've been getting into some podcast, so that's a new thing for me. But and I'm grateful for my sister, not only because she's my sister and I love her to death, but she I'm on her family plan, which really helps the situation, and I don't have to pay for that either. But it's just having that ability to listen to things that are different, that somebody my age would have never imagined 20 years ago. 19, day 19, workplace. I love, I mean, finally, I've moved 4 times in 14 years. I'll be 14 years next month. My workplace has moved 4 times. At least I have. There was part of us that didn't move the first time. And our building is a funeral home. Um, but people may think that's creepy, but a body has never been embalmed there. And it's beautiful. It's a beautiful building. Not quite designed for an office, but um, I just manage it and deal with it, and I'm probably mask my way through it. But like I said before, I understand the necessity of medication, of taking all my medication when I go to work and throughout the day, and then at home I can chill. And that's what leads us right into day 20, medication. Wow. So I've been on my medicine probably steadily since August, since the first year totally, but I think since August of 2023, I had well, back that up a little bit. In June, I made a very destructive decision on my birthday, and I went off two of my medicines. I broke one medicine down to half a day, and the other I just stopped. And and in all midst of everything going on with work, the move, and everything, the last move, I had a manic episode, and so it taught me the necessity of medication. But when I finally came back to work, it taught me, and moving out and doing things and going out in the world, that medication is a necessity for only for work, for day services, and just to function outside of my private home, and just to function in general, be able to sleep, be able to just function and be awake all day. Day 21, day 21. Church on Facebook Live. So we have the family issues to this weekend, so I didn't have a ride to church. So and my mom was sick last month with the flu twice, and people been sick and just not been feeling good. And so having church on any kind of streaming platform, and also on Facebook Live, and is a godsend in a way, because there's no it feels like you're there in spirit, and you can participate as much as you can, and it feels like you're getting your daily refresh, your weekly refresh, and you're finding your place with where you need to be. For a long time, I didn't do that. And when I started during COVID, I went a different direction that I shouldn't have. I attended it just as much as church, and I was very hesitant to go back to church in the spring. But I did. I went back to my home church, which was the home church I've been in all my life. I'm a member there. I was a member at 23. I couldn't be a member when at the at time everybody else around that you do, because I was not well. And so I've been there all my life, and I enjoy going, and I enjoy the pastor, and I enjoy everything there is about it. And it was a good sermon. Even today, it was a great sermon. And it was just something that, I just love. I'm feeling back at home when I go back to church. Being at 22, being able to sleep, you know, it's amazing, how medicine helps me sleep, and I'm not afraid to say that. I'm not, this doesn't knock me out, but when I don't have my medicine and I'm manic, I could see that over last summer, and I didn't sleep a lot, and my head hurt, and I was all over the place. So when it finally went out, it was a nightmare. And I can't encourage you to take your medication, and I can't encourage you, if you need help getting to sleep, to help yourself getting to sleep. This is 23. Transportation. It's been amazing last few months. Transportation has always been in my mind for the past 20 years, because I've been used to riding the program vans for 20 plus years. Around the 1st of December, I was notified that would change. When that changed, I about wanted to go into a full-blown meltdown, because we've had meltdowns about transportation, whether it be drivers or just people who gave attitude about it. But I did want to go into a full-blown meltdown. I wanted to get into a career of dumpster diving in my town. But I did the right thing at this point, and probably because I'm medicated. But I sat down with the staff. I sat down with one of the staff I trust at the program, at the day services. And we had a conversation, and I got to see how their experience was, and that maybe it'll be better. And I also remembered is that when I was riding the hospice vans for many years, when that program was shut off 10 years ago, 10 maybe 10 and a half years, 11 and a half years ago, um, they had to transition just like I did. And I'm grateful that I had all that time. But now I can't imagine, and especially going straight to work and straight home, I can't imagine what that was like. But yeah, we'll probably talk on it again. I think it's in here again. 24. 24. Knowledge of local resources. If you want to know anything about my town, my county, or even the region, ask me. I'll know about it. That's just part of my info dumping. That's part of my facts of life. And I think I use my gifts for when I went to school for my web technology. And I try to put that in clear and accurate information. And I like to take pictures too. So it gets there. It gets there in a nice way. 25th. 25th. Getting there, people. Zoom and telehealth. January has not been kind to me getting into take. I had just had my first psychotherapy appointment last week. And for the first time in 2024, our town is kind of torn up. We have one bridge down of two river crossings. We have two bridges. So traffic getting through traffic is hard. And plus my mom's been sick. So, and just traffic's been hard. And having access to things like Zoom to be able to go to like things and learn about things. There's going to be about disabled sex this week, and that's something you don't normally get by just sitting in your own home. And also the fact there's also just the telehealth piece. Um, During COVID, when COVID first hit, that was what kept me going. In addition to the 5 hours I had that was cut down to for work, that kept me busy during the day. Um, that because we had virtual services and we made it work, even though people didn't know what it was and people didn't understand what it was. Made it work. And now I did telehealth for a year. And I do like going in person, I will admit, but some things that are just simple in a few minutes, like a med check or something, and if everything's going well, there's really no need to. And I'm an established patient, so that is something that I enjoy doing, and I something I don't like to use, but if it's there and I need to use it, I do. 26. 26. My voice. My voice. My voice says I'm very I can speak and I'm thankful for that. And I'm thankful that I'm able to communicate. Now I'm not good at speaking blindly, but I mean if I have to talk to someone, I can, and I'm able to. I'm quite articulate and I can speak very well. Um, it's just, you know, something that I do. And it's a gift, I guess. It's a gift. And I thank God for it. I thank myself for it. I'm very grateful to have my voice because not everybody does, and we know that, especially in the autistic community, and that opens doors to people getting taken advantage of and stuff. So it's not always easy. 27, and I was just here yesterday. Family Dollar employees. They are essential workers, but I think some employees, some essential workers, and some some places of retail get a bad rap because of the way they're treated. But the Family Dollar, which is not far from my house, has some pretty long-term employees and some of the kindest people you'd ever meet. I know a lot of them by name, and we talk about things in my life when I go in, talk about just basic things. We don't go all out. I don't overshare, but I just think just giving them kind words and them just being supportive and encouraging and looking out for me while I'm in the store is always something. 28. 28. We're getting there. My therapist, she is my rock. She is everything. She is the one who can get me out of crisis. I'm thankful for her every day. Thankful for our sessions every other week. Glad it's down to every other week. I mean, it's not that I don't like it. It's just I'm doing well enough that I can function, and I don't even really need to support like even I did a year ago. And even though I had a manic episode last year, it was a quick and easy. We were able to get everything settled before she went on leave. and was it for our vacation, and I proved to her that I could take care of myself. 29, my identity, whether that's in the rainbow side or the autistic side, learning and coming to terms with that. Now, I'm not going to get too much into detail on that, but because it does open up cans of worms, but um, learning where you are in life, where you fall in the rainbow, where you fall in the autistic community, and how else you, whatever part you play in the world, finding out what that is and learning that you is thankful you can do the things that you can do in this kind of world, in this kind of day. Day 30. Never giving up on the weight loss journey. So true. I know we waited some of these twice, but it's worth saying it. I don't give up. I can't. And there were times when I didn't really want to go to weight loss support group, but now I love it so much. And I do it so much because I do it. The fact that I do it and the fact that I volunteer to do things makes it so much better. And being accountable to people and keeping in contact with them and having the private Facebook group really helps in that arena. And just having that Monday night thing, it really helps. Last but not least, 31, transportation change. Transportation change. And as I've said, it's been a wild 2 months with that transportation change, but I conquered it, I aced it, and I love it. And I can't imagine why would I not have done this years ago? I think sometimes we're too comfortable with things, and sometimes we have a comfort zone. I didn't even know this change was happening, the most recent change, until 2 weeks ago, mid-January, and I had the option to wait it out till March, but I was ready. I knew it was my time to go on and move forward, and that's what I did. So, in conclusion, those were all the things I'm grateful for, 31 of them and more, in the month of January. Now, being that it's the 11th of the month, I don't think I'll do it for February, but maybe in March or maybe later. But maybe I'll save that container. I did save that container. And, I might do that in March, but we shall see. But I like doing it and like pulling that out. And I like sharing it with you all because sometimes we have to put things in perspective. Also, I have the things. Thanks for the memories 2024. Another random acts of kindness. I think this was on Instagram. Jay Shetty, I think, did this. And I made a little jar out of something. Use a jar that had food in it, jalapenos, I think. And once a week, I write down when a good memory that happened the following week. And I like to do that as well. So those are some of the things I like to do. And of course, we'll have a big reveal party for this, probably New Year's Eve or the last week of 2024, so that we can see how much we've enjoyed 2024. Because honestly, last year I couldn't find good times. There was times the end of last year, I thought it sucked because of just the manic episode and the relapse. But my mom pointed out to me all the good times, and it's having those rocks and having those things that you're grateful for. And just remember, practice being kind this week, because it's going to be random acts of kindness week. So be sure to jump onto that website, and I'll include it. It's going to be on the screen. So, but stay strong, my friends. Be a warrior. Take care of yourselves. Be kind to yourself and each other, and stay safe out there. We'll talk at you soon. Bye for now.